Hey guys, it's me, Roseanne Wilkinson, and it is a beautiful 80-degree sunny Sunday, and I am out in Linden, Michigan for the finals for my daughter's soccer tournament. So I wanted to come in and share a portion of my results that I got from my metabolic rate analysis when I went to get my DEXA scan, and then I got a resting metabolic rate analysis. So this video is going to be on the resting metabolic rate analysis. So what this is essentially your resting metabolic rate is the rate at which you burn calories at rest. And how they, when I went to the facility, the FitBody 360, how they tested this is I was sitting in a recliner chair. They had a long tube that I was supposed to put my mouth over. They had a nose plug that went securely over the tips of my nose so that no air would get through my nose. Then I needed to inhale and exhale at a very relaxed state for close to 15 to 20 minutes. And what this was analyzing was my oxygen in, my CO2 out, my carbon dioxide out, and it gave me essentially my resting metabolic rate, which is a combination of my resting energy expenditure when I'm at rest. And so it gave it in calories, like how many calories do I burn while I'm in a state of rest. I needed to fast I fasted for about 6 hours before this test. I also did not do any form of physical activity or exercise for the 24 hours prior to this. So those are a couple of recommendations. And I will say it was a little tricky towards the end of the 15 to 20 minutes of breathing only through this tube and not through my nose, and I was in an open area, but I almost felt a little claustrophobic, so it was a little tough towards the end. I had to psychologically talk myself into continue to breathe slowly. So what I found from this test is that I was burning 1,051 calories at a complete resting state, my resting metabolic rate. Then what they do is they take your lifestyle and activity calories, which is essentially what I do, the calories that I burn during my normal activities during the day, which is about 315 calories, and this is like an estimate. And then they kind of give you a number of calories that I burn if I were to do exercise for 30 minutes. And it doesn't say exactly how many days during the week, so this is an estimate. So it only gave me 131 calories, but I am pretty consistent with my fitness, so I'm doing 30 minutes, and I do that almost 7 days out of the week. And my fitness is pretty much between 200 and 300 calories burned, according to my heart rate monitor that I use at home. But putting that all together, it basically stated that I was burning about 1,497, so 1,497 calories in a day. So if they said 131, so that's a little low. So what we did when I met with the exercise physiologist is that we essentially also looked at my metabolism based on this resting metabolic rate, which came out to be comparing to other people that were my age, my sex, my similar height and weight, and it kind of gives you a guesstimate of how my metabolism compares to others. And mine was in the lower 25th percentile, which means that I have a slower metabolic rate. So, taking all this information, working with their exercise physiologist, my main concern is that I feel like I've plateaued over the course of the last 3 to 4 months of my fitness. I feel great, but I definitely have not been able to break a weight barrier limit that I wanted to get to. And I've also been starting to feel more sluggish despite me changing my diet and all of that. So what we're going to do for the next couple of weeks, and we're going to reanalyze, is we changed my calorie count, and instead of basically I was at between 1,500 to almost 1,700 calories a day. We're dropping that down so I can create a deficit of my calories, as well as switching around my proteins and my carbohydrates. I'm going to up my proteins, up my carbohydrates, and we did this all with a formula. So having said all of this, I think for everyone that is reaching a plateau in their fitness, everyone needs help along the way. And so this was my way. Sorry, I had to pull out. This was my way of tweaking my performance. So we're gonna give this a shot. I am still following my containers. I'm still following the foods that I eat, and I'm going to be checking back in with her. I will be checking my weight weekly, if not daily, based on some of my programs that I'm doing for Beachbody, and just experimenting and seeing where I fall, and if I can create a little bit of a deficit here in my caloric intake, which would then help me to lose these last few pounds that I'm trying to lose. Having said that, also, it was very important that I also get my baseline labs. And I am seeing a physician for that as well. And so what we did was she got a baseline hormone levels. So your thyroid has a lot to do with your metabolic rate. And being that I'm going to be 48 next week, there's baseline labs that you should get tested. So if you're going and interested into getting this resting metabolic rate analysis, as well as the DEXA scan, and I'll talk a different video on the DEXA scan, I think it's a great option if you have plateaued and you're trying to really tweak your fitness. So I'm really curious, because I've already changed my diet for the last 3 days, and when I woke up this morning, I'm actually already feeling a change, and it's only been 3 days. So that's it. I thought it was a super interesting test, and I've read a lot about it, and so I am willing to try and learn and keep learning, and so should you. So I would like to also offer to help others during their fitness journey. And like I said, the beginning stages of what I had done for the last 2 years with Beachbody has absolutely worked, and it is probably the healthiest route to go in. But when you're getting down to that nitty gritty and you need to tweak things a little bit more, it is tweaking your macros, and hopefully this helps out. So that's it. That's my take on the resting metabolic rate analysis. And I will touch base with you again to discuss the DEXA scan results that I got as well. Have a great day.